some of the antics he does, like, you know, now that you won a Super Bowl, you got to act like you've been there.
Nick Sirianni was walking around on the field as well about 2-3 hours before the game, and I was just chilling, and he came up to me, and we just started chit-chatting for about 5 minutes. And I learned something cool about him, that he's from the same hometown that I'm from. Well, the same city that I'm from, and that's Buffalo. He grew up in Jamestown, which is about an hour bus ride that we used to take up to go play Jamestown High School. Even though he didn't go to Jamestown High School, he's still from the town of Jamestown. And that's when I knew. We had a great conversation about just Buffalo as well. But that's when I knew, Jules, that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win that game, when I found out that Nick Sirianni was from Buffalo, New York.
It all makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I loved him, man. Cool dude. Cool dude,
know
man.
what?
Great dude to have a conversation with as well. Brought a lot of passion and energy, and
He's got a lot of heat. I've given him a lot of heat. I've given him a lot of.
Why'd you do that?
Well, it's just a different way of what I'm a product of. You know, like the way he coaches and his style of coaching, which, you know, there's multiple ways to the top. It's just, you know, some of the things which I'm sure he would agree with me that he regrets doing, like some of the antics he does, like, you know, now that you won a Super Bowl, you got to act like you've been there. You know what I mean? And he's done that, and he's gone out, and you got to tip your cap to him and his staff, Howie Roseman, he's going to have another tough job ahead of him. Both the coordinators gone.
Well, what's cool about Nick's
Vic staying, but Kellen Moore.
It was,
you know, so like, but I gotta say, man, I'm really impressed with his ability to ignore the noise, because there was a lot of noise around this team this year, and I thought it was gonna take them down, but they fucking proved me wrong. They proved me wrong. They said, "Fuck that. We're noisy. That's just how we are. We're from we got a coach from Buffalo."
That's right. But they ignored the noise big time. But also Nick Sirianni, I feel like he kind of just grew up just out of nowhere in the middle of the season. Yeah, he was doing all his antics, but then like after they were 2-2 and all the antics happened, all of a sudden, boom, he was just on point from there, and the antics kind of stopped. And like
when he shaved his head.
Yeah. I mean, looked pretty good with a shaved head, but but it was just like all focus on football. Stop with the antics. Stop with the extra doses of everything going on. Same with AJ Brown, and then everyone just came together as a team. It's like they needed that to all happen. They came together as a team, and then from there on out, every single player, from the coaches, you know, to the top of the organization, everyone was acting unselfish, and that's why they won the Super Bowl this year. That's why they're champions, because you got to be an unselfish football team in order to be champions, especially A.J. Brown. I mean, that guy's an all-pro wide receiver, and he was getting targets like he was the third, fourth guy on the team, just because of the system that they have with Saquon Barkley running the ball so much and how successful they were with that. But
threw
just
like 24 times.
Blocking down the field for Saquon throughout the whole playoffs, so Saquon can just burst out those 50-plus yard runs. That's an unselfish football team. That's an unselfish player, and that's why they're champions. You got to be unselfish in order to be Super Bowl champs.
We'd be remiss not to talk about the exciting whites.
The exciting whites.
It was really an exciting white this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were on point.
Blankenship, he did have a couple. I saw Blankenship had a couple. He had a couple stuffers. He hit him hard.
He was solid. I mean, he didn't let up like any big time plays.
They tackled well. Like they did their job. They
tackled really well, dude.
That was the game plan.
That team
rush four,
knew how to tackle. Mm-hmm.
Just that was a. We haven't seen a butt whooping like that since Denver. And you know what I mean? The Denver Super Bowl in New York against Seattle.
I mean, a little bit.
And
when I was in Tampa, I'm telling you, that was the same exact blueprint that we had to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl in Tampa. I mean, we rushed four, but you got to have the personnel in order to rush four. I mean, we had Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, we had Shaq as well coming off the edge, and then we had JPP coming off the other edge as well. I mean, that's a dominant four right there. that, is very hard to defend and block. And they were getting after Patrick Mahomes. If you can get after Patrick Mahomes, he gets frustrated in that pocket, if he feels the pressure.
Yeah.
It's not like Tom.
He didn't play his best game.
Tom knows how to handle that pressure, Jules. He knows how to,
he just gets the ball out quick.
Locate it wherever, the help needs to come from. And he gets the ball out quick, and he knows how to, do that to a T.
But, Brady struggled against that Spags defense in 07. I mean, Spags gives quarterbacks, he didn't play like where they didn't cross the 50 bad or anything, but, it was tough. Where do you think the Chiefs go from here?
They're kind of in a tight salary cap situation right now. I saw earlier today that like 5 guys on their team are going to be counting against their cap about 75 million. I think they take up like around 70% of the cap just through 5 guys, which is absurd. So they're going to probably have to restructure some contracts, possibly cut a guy or two, hopefully get, some good draft picks that can come in right away and make an impact.
Veach will get them something. Hopefully they got to Brett Veach. They address problems pretty quickly. Like as soon as they lost to you guys, that Buccaneers team, they revamped that freaking offensive line in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? They revamped it in 1 year. Boom, gone.
But that's already a revamped offensive line. I
know, but I'm just saying for them.
Defensive line was so dominant. And I was saying that for the whole 2 weeks going into the Super Bowl game. I said, if the Philadelphia Eagles want to win this game, they got to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes in the pocket and make him feel uncomfortable. And that's what they did. That's how you beat them. I don't know how.
I think that's how you beat any team, really.
It is.
Everyone says that. I'm like, well, shit, if you get pressure in the middle of the pocket on him and Lamar and in Tom Brady and then they all hate it.
It sounds a lot easier than it is to get done. I can tell you that.